John Cena defeats Kevin Owens. Let's get that out of the way. It stings. Sting! As soon as it came out of my mouth, I'm like, fuck.
Hey, listen.
So,
I know who won this match.
Even worse is that he won by submission. Now, I'll say right now, I liked this match. I think that Owens doesn't look horrible coming out of it. But now that we've had Monday Night Raw pass and the booking for SmackDown, all the spoilers are out and stuff like that, I'm so annoyed with what they did here.
Well, question.
Shoot.
Did you see his post-match interview with Eden Styles?
No.
Okay, because this is very important, and it's stupid that they didn't do this on Raw, or at least do it on Raw as well. She approached him and asked him what happened in the match, and he said, "What I did out there was preservation. I was caught in a hold. I have a family I have to provide for. Do you know what that's like, Eden? You know what it's like to have responsibilities? No. No, of course you don't. I have to be able to still work and provide for my family. So I had to give up to preserve myself." And then he told her he didn't like her and made her walk away.
Yeah, why the hell wouldn't they have done that? That makes it seem a little bit better.
Yeah, no, let's just have him in the pull apart.
Damn, like, what bothers me the most about this, and it's not set in stone yet, so they might not do it or whatever, but if we get John Cena versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, they spent all this time building up the U.S. title, and it's not being defended. And if it's because, well, we just really wanted to do John Cena versus Seth Rollins, give the fucking title to Kevin Owens. He's going to drop down now, and at most, he's probably looking at like a pre-show match against Cesaro. That is not a good thing for Kevin Owens to be in.
I think it's even worse.
He might not even be on the card at all.
I think he's going back to NXT.
Entirely?
Entirely. I think he's going to be just on NXT, because he's still got that match with Finn Balor at TakeOver. He's still got to do that.
I thought he signed a main roster contract, though.
I don't. That's a freaking dirt sheet report. Don't go with that shit.
He
already had a contract with WWE.
Yeah, even then, they took Tyson Kidd and they brought him down to NXT, and he's got a main roster contract, not content.
I don't know. Content's pretty good, too.
I think you guys are not giving Owens enough credit. I mean, sure, he lost to Cena. I don't think he's completely buried, as the whole internet is saying. I don't think his time is completely over. Right now, it doesn't seem to be heading in the right direction. But what I would like to see, like you were saying, if it is Cena versus Rollins at SummerSlam, then the U.S. title won't be defended if he's challenging for the WWE title. So what's a good thing to do? Between now and then, you have Cena issue an open challenge. You have somebody take that U.S. title away from him. Who better to do it? Kevin Owens. That's what I would like to see. I think that's what they should do. And maybe the way Owens gets it is by Rollins fucking him over, fucking Cena over, and doing a distraction or something, and that's how he drops it. Cena's still occupied with Rollins, and Owens can take the U.S. title and defend it against whomever.
That's such a weak victory for Kevin Owens, though. Like, after beating Cena clean once, he should be able to do it again if he's going to get that title.
Here's the thing. If we were just going to do it like that, then why the fuck did he not just win it on this pay-per-view?
I agree.
Yeah, and at the same time, though, if you weren't going to have somebody have, like, a challenge for the U.S. title, then, like, it's not even like John Cena versus Seth Rollins is something that needs to happen.
I'm sure it'll be a good match. I mean, the two of them had great chemistry at Royal Rumble. I mean, they tore the house down that night, but
it's like, is this the match that we should get for the title at SummerSlam? The U.S. champion facing that, and then just moving back down to the U.S. title and putting that on the side? Like, the whole point of the U.S. title reign so far has been that he defends it all the time. And
well, I mean, we're speaking in absolutes here. Like, we're sure that it wouldn't be on the line. Wouldn't it be on the line? If he's putting an open challenge every night, why wouldn't he want to put it on the line for this match as well?
I just think that that's like a 99.9% thing that wouldn't happen, because they never really do that with two titles.
But here's the thing. If you're going to do something like that, wouldn't you throw someone else in the mix? Because you wouldn't have one guy hold both titles in that instance.
Sure you can.
They've done it before, but I mean, John Cena's not going to be the world champion and the U.S. champion, and I don't think that...
no, it doesn't have to be John Cena. It could be Seth Rollins.
Well, I was just going to say, I don't think Seth Rollins, they would give the U.S. title to him either, because they kind of like...
No, they really need to rehab Seth Rollins, and we'll talk more about that later, but they need to start making him look good, because he looks terrible right now.
I just think that, like, this the Cena and Owens feud has been so good, and they've been so like careful with making sure that Kevin Owens looks good. And then in this one, it was like, nope, Cena's got to win, and then we'll just push him off the side and then fuck Kevin Owens. And it's like, damn it, dude, like. You have so many writers. We mentioned this earlier before, and it's like, and you can't think of anything better than this. Now, you know that everybody's going to assume that this is like, well, fuck Kevin Owens, and that they don't have anything lined up for him either is another thing. Because at least when they had, like, Roman Reigns didn't win Money in the Bank, I'm still annoyed that he didn't, because I didn't want Sheamus to win. But it made sense that they started off the Bray Wyatt feud. And that feud made sense as well because Bray Wyatt lost the qualifying match to Roman Reigns. That was putting a little bit of time and effort into it, and we went from what is Roman Reigns going to do if he's not Mr. Money in the Bank to, oh, okay, he's feuding with Bray Wyatt, a big main event kind of guy. This is like, well, what's Kevin Owens going to do when he inevitably loses to John Cena? I don't know.
You know what happened, Tony? John Cena t-shirt sales went down 0.25%, and house show sales plummeted, except for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, which is headlined by Kevin Owens and sold out in like minutes.
Yeah. Can I just throw a possibility out there for them going forward?
For $2?
No. Here's the $2 bill.
I don't see anything. Okay, you go ahead anyway.
Okay, only if you can tell us who's on the $2 bill.
Oh.
Shit, I don't even know.
I think
Thomas Jefferson.
Oh, it's right. Fuck you, dude. I was right.
Pretty sure it's
good. Well played.
Anyway, go ahead, Drew.
Like I said, just make it a fatal four-way going into SummerSlam. Just put Kevin Owens and Cesaro in there as well. And it gives those two something to do as well. Make it a two falls match. Make one for the United States title, the other one for the WWE Heavyweight Championship one. Just something along those lines.
One of my favorite matches of all time is Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, and Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. A two falls match for the Intercontinental title and the European title. Poor Kurt Angle lost both of his titles.
Yep.
In that match.
Wasn't even pinned. Wasn't even
pinned.
Do you know what I love about that match? Fucking the build up to it. He'd had like a fucking feud with Bob Backlund and was using the crossface chicken wing.
I miss Kurt Angle.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you do like that, you have Kevin Owens win the title off of John Cena possibly there, and you could continue that feud. Because I think with this feud, you could keep it going all the way up until you get to Hell in a Cell. I think this is a feud that would be worthy of a Hell in a Cell match.
See, if you're going to do that, you could split off Kevin Owens and Cesaro and start that as the U.S. title feud.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the way to do it. Because I've had my fill with John Cena and Kevin Owens. For now, they could reignite this later, but after the way they've marred the end of this, they can't do any more with it.
So just have Cesaro and Kevin Owens going forward?
Mm-hmm. I think that makes sense. I know Waco was pitching him and Randy Orton, but I think him and Cesaro would be more entertaining.
And I have no faith that any of this is happening. I'm thinking we're going to get Kevin Owens either just in a pre-show match against Cesaro where he beats him because they're like, well, we don't really want to make him lose everything, and Cesaro, you can take the hit. Or it'll just be, John Cena, Seth Rollins, and just typical bullshit. Like, I don't have faith that WWE's creative enough for that.
You really think that they'll put that on the pre-show, though?
I can see on the pre-show.
Over some other stuff that they will probably end up doing, something with our truth.
SummerSlam is supposed to be the WrestleMania of the summer. They need the biggest of the big stars. They don't see him as that. Yeah, fucking girth-wise.
If they didn't see him as a big star, why would they have him feud with Cena for a few months? I mean,
I think
obviously they believed in him that much.
They had Rusev do that too.
I think it's a matter of too many things being on the card already. Like, I really would assume that
there's
what
only
we're
one match.
Well, what I'm trying to assume is we're gonna get Undertaker and Lesnar. Mm-hmm. We would get Seth Rollins versus John Cena. Mm-hmm. Most likely, I would assume Dolph Ziggler and Rusev. No. Whether it's Ziggler and Rusev or Ziggler and Lana and Rusev and Summer Rae or something like that, I don't know. Probably the Intercontinental Championship triple threat match. Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Wyatt family, that kind of thing. Team the Divas one. primetime players tag team title match of some sort. Maybe Orton and Sheamus. And then we're already at 8 matches.
You're forgetting
I
a
wouldn't
very
be surprised
important
if the tag team match would be on the pre-show, to be honest.
Well, then we also got the potential of Stardust and Stephen Amell.
Exactly.
We've also got... I would assume that these would take a step down, but like King Barrett, Neville, Kane, R-Truth, like a lot of
they're not
names.
doing anything.
They probably aren't, yeah. But like,
oh wait, did you say Undertaker, Brock Lesnar?
Yeah,
that's like the most important one.
If we count all those as possibilities and we rule out the Barrett, Neville, that kind of thing, because Neville might be involved in like the Stephen Amell thing, I don't know. But even if we just do that, we're at 8 or 9 matches already. Kevin Owens and Cesaro, like, the only match that they would bump to the pre-show, other than that, would be the tag title match. And they probably would use that more as a bathroom break. Because they're not going to put Orton and Sheamus on the pre-show. They're not going to put the Divas on the pre-show. They're not going to put the Wyatts. They're not going to put, like, Ziggler and Rusev, Rollins, Undertaker. Like, they're certainly not going to put Stephen Amell. So the only other thing I could think of is if they did... Like, if we can't get Stephen Amell, if they did Neville and Stardust on the pre-show.
No, you know what? You know why Kevin Owens isn't even going to be on this card? He might be there for, like, a promo, but he has to wrestle at TakeOver the night before.
That is the night before. Shit, I'm thinking that's Wednesday.
Yeah, I think he's going to have the night off for SummerSlam. At most, maybe he does a run-in during the John Cena match or something like that.
Maybe that's their way of, like, stalling and having Cena and Owens one more match at Night of Champions.
Yeah.
I don't know. Personally, I think it's still too early to write off Owens for SummerSlam completely. See if we still feel this way in 2 or 3 weeks. But right now, I think there's still so much time to go that they could take him somewhere.
You know what I made a mistake on Monday, if you listen back to the Raw post show? I was talking about when they did that pull apart with Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker, and I thought it was impressive because they had Kevin Owens there, and I was like, oh my gosh, they have Kevin Owens there. It's like they brought out important people. No, I was looking at it the wrong way. It's actually that Kevin Owens is just a jabroni now, and he's that guy that's just in a random pull-apart brawl. That's very telling.
And that's sad.
For sure. I thought I saw Randy Orton in that pull apart as well.
Yeah, Randy Orton ain't doing much right now.
Alrighty, guys, you know the score. Leave those comments below. And we have one more match to talk about. Rollins versus Lesnar in the next part.